Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And we're going to be doing that with my I am cards. These I am cards are full of positive affirmations, nice things that we can say. And it just warms my heart to see that there are just regular people who show up day in and day out. You guys are amazing. You really inspirational to me. So thank you so much for being here and for just playing this game along with me. I sincerely hope that this show, that this broadcast is as beneficial for your lives as it is for mine. So anyway, we'll be going through some of the some I am statements today, and as we do, we are speaking life into ourselves. So I just want to say good morning to everybody who is here. I see Amanda and Brenda Jean, Lauren, Grant, Dan, you guys have all commented. Good morning to you all. All right, so we're going to go through a card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card off the top of my I am deck, and I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. What I'd like for you to do is to say out loud, I am that affirmation. As we say these things out loud, we are speaking life into ourselves. Science have shown us that there is a portion of our brain that activates when we are hearing somebody else say things, and there is a totally different portion of our brain that activates when we say them ourselves. And the portion of our brain that activates when we say things ourselves, that bit of our brain, that part bypasses all of our filters of, do we believe this or not? Is this true or not? We believe the things that we say, and that's why it's so important for us to say them. So, without further ado, let's go through our Monday card, which is today, I am assertive. I am assertive. I boldly advocate for what is right. So I am assertive. I boldly advocate for what is right. Are you assertive? You are assertive. You boldly advocate for what is right. And I'm going to write that down in the comments. I am assertive. I boldly advocate for what is right. And I encourage you to write it down in the comments too, because that same science that shows that when we say things, it bypasses our inherent filters as to whether or not something is true. When we write something down, so the same science has shown us that we store things differently. We tend to remember them more when we write them down, and it increases our faith. And so, I mean, have you ever needed to be more assertive? Have you ever been in a situation where you thought that something was happening and you didn't really agree with it? You didn't think it was right, but at the same time felt timid, felt like it wasn't your place to say anything? Well, this I am assertive card is designed to help us with that. And I tell you the truth, there's plenty of times in my life when yeah, Brandon Jean, I can cite my sources. Not so much on this broadcast, but yeah, I would happily cite my sources on this science because this stuff comes from organizational psychology. But I will dig up the articles that I have read and I will link them to you. But yeah, so anyways, I've noticed that in my life there have been plenty of times that I thought I didn't think that something was right, and at the same time I didn't say anything about it. And I forget who said this quote, but they said something to the effect of that the only thing that it takes for evil to prosper is for good people to stand aside and say nothing. And so it's really important for us as we have well-developed senses of ethics and morals. It is important for us to assert and to boldly advocate for what we believe is right. We have to stand up. We have to say, hey, this thing isn't how we want it to be, and this is why. And so it's just very important for us to assert ourselves. And I know that there have been many cases in my own life where I have done this, where I have seen something. I saw. Maybe when I was living down in Costa Rica, one of my friends was treating another of my friends in a way that I just thought was shameful. And so I didn't necessarily call them to task at the time as assertively as perhaps I ought to have, because I was definitely less developed of a person. But I came to them, I said, would you like to be treated this way? If you were in their shoes, would you like to be treated this way? And of course, as I do this, I judge myself as well, because I recognize that I also do not always do what is right. And so it's important as I boldly advocate for what's right in the way that other people treat each other, it's important for me to advocate for what is right in the way that I also treat the people I love and care about. And so we are assertive people today, and let's go off and let's just assert that the things that we know to be true. And that is our card for today. We are assertive people, and I will return tomorrow at 9 a.m. for yet another wake up call. And it is really good to see you here. Let's see, Amanda has shown up, and Brenda Jean, Lauren, Grant, Dan from Omaha. Welcome, Dan. It's always nice to see you coming in from Omaha. You're watching the wake up call at, I think, like 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. Your time. But it's always good to see that you make me a part of your day. Thank you. Let's see who else has shown up here. It looks like Frank popped in as well. So yeah, I have a bunch of viewers here. Not everybody who views writes the comment, but if you are here writing, and 8 a.m. for you, Dan. If you are watching this broadcast, I really do encourage you to write down a comment, because writing things down makes them a lot more real for us than merely hearing me say them. When this show is called The Wake Up Call, but and I say all these I am statements, but I really want people to understand that the show's not about me. We all answer to the words I am. We all answer to ourselves in the form of the words I am. Whenever we say I am, we are defining ourselves. We are the only ones who can really say those words and have them pertain to us. So it's really important for us to understand that when I say the words I am, this is not a show about me talking about who I am. This is a show about me encouraging you to really recognize your inherent awesomeness, your inherent value and worth. So I really encourage you guys to play along with these games, because as I mentioned beforehand, there is some really solid science, which I will link. Let me write that down so I don't forget about it. That I will link for Brenda Jean, link science in the comments below. All right. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. We will return. At 9 a.m. 8 a.m. for Grant and for Dan. But 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will return with another one of these cards. Until then, just a quick reminder that I love you, that I care about you, and that I believe all these words that I say about you. Aloha from paradise.